President Trump is imposing a new 15% tariff on Chinese goods. It's part of a new global tariff on all U.S. imports announced after the Supreme Court struck down the president's reciprocal tariffs. So, how will this impact China? Here's a closer look.
During his second term, President Trump has placed a range of tariffs on China. Some of them were struck down by the Supreme Court last week when it invalidated Trump's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, to collect tariff revenue. Under IEEPA, Trump had placed a 10% tariff on Chinese goods for China's role in America's fentanyl crisis, plus a 10% reciprocal tariff. This did not apply to products from certain targeted industries like electric vehicles and solar panels. IEEPA was not used to set tariffs for those products. Section 301 was used instead, and the rates were usually much higher. SCOTUS then struck down IEEPA, abolishing Trump's 10% reciprocal tariff and 10% fentanyl tariff. That means the tariff rate on Chinese goods was reduced by 20%, except those industry-specific products like electric vehicles. Those tariffs were left unchanged because they were not implemented under IEEPA. In response to the Supreme Court's ruling, Trump then introduced a global tariff which now applies to all Chinese goods, including those industry-specific goods. So that means tariffs on Section 301 and Section 232 products are now 15% higher than they were pre-ruling. But tariffs on all other products have been reduced by a net 5%. So, for example, if today you want to import a Chinese electric vehicle into America, you'll pay 15% on top of what you would have paid pre-ruling. But if you want to import an agricultural product that hasn't been tariffed under Section 301, you'll actually pay 5% less than you would have before the SCOTUS ruling. It's still not clear if the revenue collected under IEEPA will have to be refunded. The president was asked about it.
They take months and months to write an opinion, and they don't even discuss that point. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, not millions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And so I said, well, what happens to all the money that we took in? It wasn't discussed. It's not discussed. We'll end up being in court for the next 5 years.
President Trump is set to visit China at the end of March and beginning of April for talks with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. On Sunday, U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer said America's negotiating position will not be weakened by the Supreme Court ruling and that existing agreements with trading partners will remain in place. Currently, the average U.S. tariff on Chinese goods stands at around 40%.